I be on the next Oleg. I am fresh to death, just call the coroner. I'm a native champ, you just a foreigner. Is that all you got? Come on, you boring us. Hey, looking for the champ, we on the way.
An East versus West champion of the world. Tonight, he will try to take the title at the higher weight division. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Oleg Zhokh, representing the great arm wrestling nation of Georgia, where he is a multiple national champion. This man is also an EAF European and WAF world champion and is the reigning and defending East versus West champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Betkili. Oniani! I'm in a lot better condition than when I run up those steps in the auditorium. But more importantly, here we go. Oleg Zhokh, Betkili Oniani. Oniani, the reigning champion here in this weight division, and the Georgian, as Travis said a moment ago, ultra aggressive, ultra powerful. And for me, look for the retention from Oniani. It would be incredible if he can overcome Oleg Zhokh. For so long, Zhokh, a dominant force.
Yeah, we've seen the recipe be very simple. If you try to hold on to Oleg outside of the straps, you are pinned immediately, okay? I can see clearly Betkili's coming in here. He's ready to be nasty, aggressive, even out of the strap. Round one, we will see a lot as to how the connection ends here. If he's able to suck him in, it's going to be a long day for the light Oleg Zhokh. If the plans stay as normal, you can see the connection and the unbelievable size of Oleg Zhokh. Not even the greatest asset he has, but the placement between the thumb and the index finger seems to be almost insurmountable for athletes to have any control, whether in or outside of the strap.
And notice in the grip, the ability that he's got to slightly turn that palm in like an ultra supination to gap the thumb. He will then reverse that very quickly and utilize the height. That hand is a weapon, and Betkili needs to keep that distance closed and rises. But the slip and the hand dominance, as you would expect out of the strap with Oleg Zhokh. But this is just precursory. Nobody is under any illusion that the match has started yet. This is going to get interesting when this strap is applied. Can Betkili Oniani get the power down? Can he show that aggressive style that took him to the title? He defeated Artem Tainov in incredible fashion. Ran through that unbelievably powerful puller.
And that easy work here had us all thinking that nothing really should change here against the lighter opponent. We've seen Oleg Zhokh, as amazing as he is, he has had some problems here the last couple years getting back to the same level. But if you were just looking at the prescription, it looks pretty similar to all the other matches. They get in this, they get a grip, and you cannot stop the young Ukrainian from opening the fingers, and ultimately you either slipping or holding on to your defeat. Let's see if the strap can mean so much. He's got the good side of the strap here.
Here we go, down come the hands, be ready. So many lessons learned in this first start. Whoa, I think that's a little early on the shoulder from Oniani, but a warning shot fired across the bowels of Oleg Zhokh. And as I look to Travis Page, and he has an alarmed face.
The fact that we had to decide whether that was a false start or not, that is a telltale sign at the level of Betkili Oniani. What an absolute left-handed stud.
Here we go. Watch for the referees. Down will come the thumbs, then the hands. Betkili giving us a little indication, more importantly, giving Oleg Zhokh an indication of the potential angle and aggression that this hit will come. Do not blink, ladies and gentlemen. So many lessons to be learned here. Oniani of Georgia, Oleg Zhokh of Ukraine. Whoa, 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 a little early again there. And to be honest, I got to say, I thought that both men moving there pretty significantly in that setup.
Much better from Oleg Zhokh there. Definitely, you can see where the resistance is going to come. If Betkili is effective here, it will not stop until about 10 o'clock. The quicker Oleg Zhokh stops the match and starts to work on the hand and compromising the grip of Betkili, it will decide whether this will be somewhat easy or exactly how hard is it going to be to take both of these world championship belts home to the Ukraine.
We go. Down comes that hand. I think we'll get away this time. Elbow fall, I think, there on Betkili Oniani. He's calling that as a second. Oleg Zhokh, but waiting for the referee's decision there. We've nothing on our screen to indicate exactly what was given there, but it...
The blunt the trauma there, the blunt force from Betkili, from the bottom of his pinky finger right there at the wrist, just stabbing into the wrist of Oleg Zhokh. You can see the hand opening up. That was going to be an easy victory for Betkili, just a matter of time.
Here we go, we are underway, and the commitment there of both men evident. And Betkili Oniani looks across at Oleg Zhokh, and we are turned inside. And Betkili is trying to keep the pressure applied and prevent that pronation of Zhokh, who is working diligently to try and open the hand and wrist. Now this is a waiting game, a patience game for both men. The angle critically important. Betkili Oniani needs to maintain this position. And there's a give in that wrist. The elbow dangerously close for Oleg Zhokh at that point. But he corrects, gets a warning from the referee. But this is dangerous territory for Betkili Oniani because he sold so much so early in this matchup. He must have extreme confidence in the arm, because Oleg Zhokh has everything there on the hand and wrist. Oh, huge rise there. Looked like a big pop on the elbow from Zhokh. Nothing called, and we continue. A big drive again from Zhokh. And a second, and that one is called. Wow, Travis Bajan, it is on.
It looked from the surge from Betkili that Oleg now, with his hand dropping under, no connection there, no way for Oleg Zhokh to actually win that match. But as the time went on, you see the extraordinary power from Oleg Zhokh and the determination, the freaking resolve from Betkili Oniani. This match has just started, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, Neil Pickup, what an absolute war we are about to see.
Battle lines have been drawn, Trav, and one thing you can say is that Betkili Oniani has gone into deep water very early. He started with a really solid position on that hand and wrist, but evidence of the fact that Oleg Zhokh is an extremely difficult arm wrestler to finish. Very, very powerful there. Both men committed very hard off that start, and Betkili Oniani hung on for quite a while in a pretty compromised position. But diligence, as always, constant attack, constant pronation from Oleg Zhokh, and he did open the hand and wrist of Betkili. But what was good news for Betkili was the arm remained rock strong, and the match was far from over. Which athlete will fatigue faster here?
You talk about good news and bad news. The good news for Betkili, dominating off the start, surging in. Definitely, you can see the grip being compromised from Oleg, him absolutely no connection when it comes to his hand. However, once the bad news, once you get everything you want off the start and you still cannot finish, then it turns into exactly what I just said. Bad news. Oleg Zhokh, what a competitor. Watch for the start. Watch the gyration of the move. A little switch here. He's going to go without his hand, staying at 10 o'clock, not letting the arm get back to 12. Make some noise here, ladies and gentlemen. Can Betkili finish? The surges are...
Betkili edging down towards that pad. And I'll tell you what, Oleg looking like he may be opening up here. And this is solid from Betkili Oniani. And that looked like the win. We haven't got the signal from the referees yet. but I'm pretty sure it is the opening pin for the reigning champion of the world, Betkili, Oniani of Georgia. Wow, look at this on the replay. Big drive off the start. It was a commitment with the dead wrist press. Broke back wrist attack right onto the A side for Oniani, and the Georgians' aggression. The Georgians' never say die attitude powered through and broke open the arm of Oleg Zhokh. First blood, Oniani.
Not the most perfect start when it comes to getting that round one victory. Not that Betkili will not take a round one win, but listen, the writing on the wall is that doing that 4 times is going to be very difficult. Can Oleg Zhokh just stop that match every inch that he can stop it when we seen the desperation from Betkili right there at the bottom there? This match is far from over, ladies and gentlemen.
Very much so. We spoke a moment ago, Trav, about who would fatigue first. What element of the athlete's game would fatigue first? Would it be the back of Oleg Zhokh? Would it be the wrist and hand of Betkili Oniani? Oniani's such a complete arm wrestler and very, very aggressive off the start on that second start there. Got the first pin through sheer commitment and will. And Oniani leads by 1-0 enthralling match here. Best of 7. Oniani of Georgia. That's the man in the red shirt.
A great argument here, Neil. Whose gas tank is used more? Someone with a compromised hand who has decided to push without their hand. If that match lasts over 10 seconds, is that more damaging than the top roller with hand positioning, with everything being opened up at the bottom? I think there's a valid argument for both. From what I saw, a little more desperation from Betkili in order to get that win. We'll see if he can somehow has the energy, has the intestinal fortitude to do that over 4 wins it will take.
You did it again, Travis. Intestinal fortitude. Maybe the greatest line ever uttered by any commentator in the history of sports ever. And we're only warming up halfway through the event. What I would say here, Travis, that Oleg Zhokh now, wrist facing away from the head referee. Does he get away with more here? We know that he's going to utilize that huge, wide palm to gap and to try to move his own thumb away and out of range. I don't think he needs to be as concerned now because the hand and wrist of Betkili Oniani completely compromised, but what he does have to be concerned about is that surge to the A side.
Betkili has to be careful on the connection outside of the strap. Is he able to get to the strap without giving too much confidence to Oleg? And more than anything, can he get by the referees from, if Oleg is smart here, he's going to start pressing that middle. He's going to lay off of that back pressure. He's going to let Betkili go ahead and try that surge. And with the right posture, there will be a spot for him to win outside of the strap here. Betkili's hand and wrist, it seems to be pretty much out of the match from now on. That's 2 starts in round 1, both clearly with 2 different angles had the wrist and hand compromised. You can see the look on the face, the mouth open from Betkili, a little more duress than usually displayed.
Interestingly, he's starting with that elbow to the right, trying to carve under with the shoulder, and I'll tell you what, he got a little bit of purchase there, but the position and the amplitude of the attack sacrificed a little bit, but when the power goes down, it goes down hard for Betkili Oniani of Georgia. That is a dramatic finish. You saw that his hand and wrist were a little compromised, didn't have the contact with the lower 2 fingers, but as soon as he managed to reset, Trav, it was hammer time.
And you saw the reaction, right? The posture of Oleg in order to stop the floppy wrist slip there, and then Betkili noticing the posture change, he just threw that wrist right towards Oleg, ends up getting in a hook, and then you see the confidence start to show up. This is very interesting for Oleg. If he stands up tall, he can stop the match from slipping. If he stands up too tall, leans too forward, then he opens himself up to being hooked. What an chess match we have here. Two great competitors here. Both have a way to secure a victory in each of the rounds. It just so happens 2-0. Betkili doing exactly what he's supposed to do in handling business here in Istanbul.
The arm strength of the Georgian, super evident there. We've seen it on display against Tainov and again tonight. And we talked about it a number of times. Which will gas first? Is it the hand and wrist? Is it the brack of Oleg Zhokh? He's so brack heavy, looks for that.
And as the chess game continues, Neil, now Oleg Zhokh definitely knows he has to get the hand and wrist. Betkili needs to be careful. He won't just automatically get that hook by coming forward. If he's mistaken here, we could see a flash pin from Oleg as well. What a game of chess we are having played out right in front of us here. Betkili one step ahead so far.
Zhokh, very focused, look at him amped up and ready to try and blast into that hand and wrist of Oniani. Betkili doesn't fluster easy. This guy's got the mindset of a fighter pilot. He was over there in the corner between rounds, not a breath of emotion. Looked like he was ready to put on a velvet dressing gown and a pair of slippers, and we're only in the second round. Round 3 here, and this is going to be important for him. He needs to secure this, and it would do his confidence an enormous power of good if he could get to 3. 7 rounds, remember, 4 required for the win. Oleg Zhokh is the man in the blue trim. In the red trim, Betkili Oniani of Georgia. He leads here by 2 pins to 0.
Check
here we
the
go.
fingers of Zhokh. Sometimes when you've seen him in round 2 trying to get compromised, trying to handle, and you see his hand wrapped around. The more scared he is, the more he starts to curl those things up into a fist. My goodness, the hand and wrist of Betkili is absolutely phenomenal here.
Yeah, and both men clearly felt that there was no way to start that match, and neither one hit with full force. I got to admit, I was a little focused on the referee personally. He's gone for an interesting style of mustache tonight, Travis. It's turned down rather than up. I think that's an original. I've certainly never seen it before. Here we go. Betkili Oniani.
Yes.
Oleg Zhokh. Zhokh needs to get something on the board now. Down comes the hand.
Nice placement there for Zhokh, definitely up and high. Watch to see how the fingers move. And Betkili definitely noticing the great grip there that Oleg was provided. Felt he needed a little more bite. The shoulder comes in, the wrist curls a little bit, and our referee right there where he needs to be to call the warning.
That's the second one
Don't move.
on Betkili. And he receives the foul.
Don't move. Hey.
Oniani has been the faster away pretty consistently. We saw that right from the get-go tonight. Down come the hands. Betkili talking to the referee.
He's saying he's so high. My goodness.
And he was, but that's something that is an advantage for Zhokh because that hand is truly unique. Big drive, that looked good, that looked clean, that is a pin for Betkili Oniani of Georgia. Wow! 3 pins, and he's blisteringly quick. Look at that on the replay. On the slow-mo, it's fast-mo.
Yeah, the set grip's kind of putting Oleg to sleep there. And one guy definitely not asleep, taking advantage of all of these things. Listen, the title is in great hands with Betkili there. It's going to be a tough task for a left-handed arm wrestler to beat this guy.
Very complete puller. Look at him there in the corner. Absolutely supremely confident, supremely calm. The script is going right as written for Betkili Oniani. I've made no secret about it. Love this dude. He is one of my favorite arm wrestlers in the world right now. His demeanor, his attitude, the aggression. He's got a dark, sinister edge to his arm wrestling, and he can do it all. Doesn't seem to have a weakness. Massively powerful, belies his power. This guy doesn't look the strongest in the class, but may very well be the strongest in the class if it comes down to a sheer red line arm-on-arm battle, and we're seeing evidence of that tonight. Oleg Zhokh went through the elastic limit of his arm in that very opening pin. He got the win there got the early start with Zhokh being in such a dominant position, and that will have really done Betkili's confidence a world of good. If you can pull Oleg Zhokh back up from the depths like that, you're going to feel good about everything in life. Very few men are able to do that. And more importantly,
and we spoke earlier about the round one, whose gas tank is affected more. It just goes to show you that when you get that full hand top roll and you feel good and you get that pronation, if you are not successful, the gas tank is severely devastated by getting that arm opened up. We saw it early with Carolina Patterson, and now the role playing exactly the same here. Once you think that you have an out as the rounds go, you mistaken exactly the damage that was done once you are pinned in a great hand and wrist position.
Betkili is very cunning in that respect, manages to utilize a great deal of material in the hook. He's partially using arm strength, he's partially utilizing his joint and angles to block the attacks, and he did that very effectively in that first round. I'd say the first 10 to 15 seconds of the match, his wrist was then compromised. Here we go, down come the hands. Betkili focused on that side pressure. The drive off the start this time comes up short, and he'll bail that one. Go to the straps, get out of dodge. Didn't get what he wanted there, Travis, and much better.
Much better from Oleg Zhokh there. That's exactly the position you want to be in now. In the strap here. Not the best side of the strap here. We haven't seen the strap applied. If you remember, when we were in this correct position here in round two, what we thought was Oleg Zhokh maybe leaning forward, trying to stop Betkili from getting in the strap, ended up letting Betkili jump into a hook. Now we are in the strap. He so-called has the bad side of the strap. If there was ever some sort of opening, if you are from the great country of Ukraine, if you are an Oleg Zhokh fan, the only bright spot that you can muster up here is the fact that he has not been pinned in the strap with the good side of the strap in his favor. Let's see if there's one thing that can be done. It has to happen right now, Neil Pickup.
It does indeed, Trav. Last chance saloon now for Oleg Zhokh, this legendary, iconic left-hand arm wrestler from the great arm wrestling nation of Ukraine. Finds himself at a pivotal spot now. Needs to try to nail this one down. Oniani leads 3 pins to 0. Here we go. Down come those hands. Oniani focusing on the down ref, looking to get as much arm on arm as he can. Low, a little early there. Another warning. The old adage goes, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Once again, kind of maybe putting Oleg to sleep here. Let's see. Oleg needs some sort of burst, not only to the pin pad, just getting the hands on his side of the table. His elbow and those hand positions, they must go an inch and a half towards him in order to have any shot here. From the last two starts, if you didn't know the score was 3-0, you may think Oleg looks in control here in round 4.
Here we go. Whoa, that was Oleg. A little early there. Understandably so, you've got to be on the trigger finger at this stage if you're Oleg Zhokh. No opportunity for resting spots now. He needs to be out of the gates quickly, and both himself and Betkili Oniani will be very aware of that.
The connection looks very favorable for Oleg Zhokh here. I would not be surprised here for Oleg to get in the win column here in round 4. The non-verbal from Betkili showing that he does not love the connection here. Let's make sure Oleg stays focused. He needs to hit off the start, even to a position.
There was a kind of suggestion there that Betkili was going to cut straight underneath and look for the press again, Trav. And I think he did do in that situation, and that's better for Zhokh. Much better for Oleg Zhokh, but Betkili Oniani tightens again, puts that power down, and as Zhokh tries to roll and pronate through it, there is a wall. And it's traveled all the way from Georgia. Betkili Oniani solid at the base, and Zhokh trying to maintain the patience now. But the bleed will start to kick in if he can't gain better position. And Betkili Oniani from the bayside with an absolute Lethal counter. Absolutely phenomenal. Betkili Oniani of Georgia is a weapon of mass destruction. And he has put it down, Travis, retains the title here at East versus West. Goes over, slaps hands with Rolly Ray, and it is on. Wow, Betkili Oniani. What can you say about that man? The beard is sharp, the arm is strong, and it's done.
And I heard you say earlier that you can't really look at him and tell that he is that amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I disagree. After being in the room with this human being more than a few minutes, it does not take long to see how much confidence he has in himself and what he has just done. Absolute phenomenal arm wrestling. Every single way that you are trying to beat someone who has an unbelievable advantage to you when it comes to the tools in the toolbox. No one has a better toolbox than Oleg Zhokh. Ladies and gentlemen, there are weight classes for a reason. Weight matters. Betkili Oniani, absolute superstar in the sport of arm wrestling. And listen, every title will be tough to get. There is no mistake about it. None will be harder than getting the title from this human being in the left-handed category. What an absolute special human being. Show your love, ladies and gentlemen, for Betkili
Guys, one more time.
Oniani.
What a performance, Betkili Oniani. Keeps the title at 95 kilos. Evgeny Prudnik is going to give him his belt. In words of Neil Pickup, biblical power. Baddest man on the left arm under 95 kilos, Betkili Oniani. You got the rematch, you got the victory. How does it feel? I know there's no expression on your face, but inside there must be something.
დიდი მადლობა ჩემს გულშემატკივრებს. მსგავსი მოლოდინი მქონდა, ოლეგისგანაც პროგრესი ისე თუ ასე იგრძნობა. რავი, კარგი ბრძოლა იყო.
It was a good fight.
That's what he said? That's what he said? He said he's very, I know he's very calm. First round was a little burner. Like, where do you get endurance to flash pin him later rounds?
ვარჯიშით გამოვიმუშავე სავარაუდოდ ეგეთი გამძლეობა. ჩემთვის სასურველი იყო უფრო ხანგრძლივი ბრძოლა რო ყოფილიყო, მაგრამ რას ვიზამთ, ასეც ხდება ხოლმე.
Yeah, I trained endurance purposefully, and it would be a better match for me if it was like longer. I would prefer it being longer.
Man, that was so impressive. The real question is there anyone at 95 kilos, or are you moving up and chasing bigger guys at 105?
ნებისმიერი მეტოქისთვის მზად ვარ 95 კილოგრამში და ჩემი სურვილი იქნება მომდევნო ბრძოლა ჩავატარო 105 კილოგრამში.
I am ready for anyone in 95, but I would prefer to get my next match in 105.
Listen, this man is so impressive, biblical power, Betkili Oniani.